got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Then I back up, name the place and we back up. Running these racks up, 100 meals a week. After, down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one, made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. Don't really need down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that.
For his career win total at 347 Don Shula Drive. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami, Florida. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
You better be ready. Ready.
Now Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
Rock it.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the 37-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing Jones. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
After the interception, here's Ryan. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Ready, 280. Right there in the middle, 55. All day,
They'll try the left side. Grant. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Down, ready, 280. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Ready to go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Matt Ryan taking it in. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
2nd and 11 now. Ryan is going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Jones throwing again. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards the pickup there. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Jones off the play fake. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Jones now operating from the gun. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
On 2nd down now, it's Grant, and he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Ready, blue 80, 825. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. Hey, South.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so...
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. T.J. Hockenson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones. Room here to run. And this will be a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones. He's going to air one out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now a give right side. Grant. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 18-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Ryan to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Keenan Allen, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
He's going to look deep for more. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. It's a gain of 35. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Operating from the gun, Jones. He dumps it off to Drake. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Edwards. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Gus Edwards, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says,
now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
and you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Ryan. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Keenan Allen, as the first half is winding down, and the Texans push further out in front.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Back to throw. Jones. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Here's Jones. A final shot before break. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Check 55 to Mike. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he fires one incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. He's got Allen. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. Now it's Ryan. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. Keenan Allen, his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Leo. Check back.
Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
59 Mike, check, 59.
Now Ryan. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play call.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Looking to throw. Jones. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Alert 3. Wide. General West. Fair. Bravo.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Jones operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well timed there by Richard Sherman. A sack on the corner blitz.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks and the speed.
And the pressure gets to him again. Daniil Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its fourth.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Back to throw. Jones. And able to find John Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They go for it on fourth down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the fourth down conversion. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jones heading up here first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Jones. Throwing on 4th down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they'd converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lock it for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 41.
They go back to Grant, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Ryan. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go back turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Jones operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hey!
On 4th down, Jones. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.